I think that the hardest thing that you have to endure when you come into the hospital is having to tell each person, over and over and over again everything that's gone on. And it gets to be a little cumbersome after a while. And, it's hard having to deal with the sickle cell crisis and try to have a good attitude. At the same time, you want to make sure that you're developing relationships that will make for a nice quality of care, because once you get into that mode to where you're not really, the respect factor is gone, then that's when you start seeing all of the additional wait times and things of that nature. That has always been a conflict of interest for me, because as an advocate, I have this innate desire to set people straight, and as a patient, that doesn't always work out so good for you. So those are some of the challenges of self-advocating, because you do have a horse in the race, and so it becomes a very personal attack when you know that there are hundreds of thousands of people nationwide who are experiencing exactly the same thing that you're experiencing, but don't perhaps have equipped themselves enough to be able to fight the powers that be, so to speak. And so in knowing that, it gets very frustrating. And so you kind of want to turn your own horrific experience into a learning opportunity for a staff member, or for someone who perhaps doesn't even belong on this floor, even though this is the oncology, hematology floor. They come from everywhere when they're shorthanded. They're going to need people from different floors, different areas, people who are not familiar with the amount of medication that it takes for you to even just get up. And so it's like every time you go in the hospital, no matter what, I haven't experienced the type of care that everybody knows what's going on, and you don't have to say much of anything. They know enough, but they also know that you're there to get them straight, so to speak. And that is my my primary desire, is to make sure that Jane Doe, who's laying in this bed, who doesn't have an advocate, who has not equipped herself to fight, won't have to. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to fight the care giver. You know what I'm saying? Because you both should be wanting the same thing. They want you to get better, and you want to be better. So there has to be some point where that is our goal, and everything else is, just out the window. But it doesn't always happen like that. And so it becomes frustrating, very, very frustrating.
I need some soldiers in this battle with me. I need some front line soldiers with me. You got your soldiers. We're right here with you. And we're doing some things that we know you can't do. And even when the battle is long, we stay strong.